Good morning.
Oh, I can wait.
How are you?
Ready? All right, let's roll, nerds.
All right, Judge, page 1.
Are you Jessica Araiza? Araiza, come on up.
Put your back.
Araiza, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
On March 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a suspicious person call. Officer met with the witness who stated that the defendant was looking for her children and was at a nearby residence. The officer then made contact with the complainant at the residence, who stated the defendant had been intoxicated at a family gathering earlier, and they began to argue at home before the defendant assaulted the complainant. The defendant admitted to striking the complainant with the television. The officer noted the complainant to be bleeding from his face. The complainant is her ex-husband.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this complaining witness and not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you see a protective order that has been issued?
It needs to be, signed.
Okay, ma'am, I'm issuing now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Mr. Roberto Baron as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. Stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where he lives or where he works. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you violate this court order, the state can and probably will file a violation of protective order. That is one of the worst cases you can pick up. Just don't have any contact. Don't use alcohol, any dope. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Just, I'm going to protect my city at all costs. And if that means putting you in, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Now, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
No.
Do you work?
Yes.
Okay, you work full-time?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. Do you have any children?
I have 3.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. Let me take a look at it to see whether you qualify and then we'll talk. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions though. Don't worry, because since she'll be monitored for no alcohol, we'll have Fleischer do it. Okay, please. Deputy Miranda will give you an application. Hey, you're back. You ready?
I am always ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Judge, was this one CHA?
No, I gave her an application.
So the smoking jacket thing, Judge, that I missed. No.
You did. It's okay.
Smoking.
Well, it's too early, man. Come on up, sir. Is it De Los Santos, you said?
Yes. It was under Santos
Yes, page
on the
19.
docket, but it's.
I see it. Got it. All right, Mr. De Los Santos, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 9th, 2025, at approximately 6:34 a.m., an officer responded to a major accident on the 6100th block of North Fry Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the witness, who was traveling south on North Fry Road and stopped at an intersection of West Little York Road, and he began to drive. When the light turned green, he was struck from behind. He exited his motor vehicle and observed the defendant in the driver's seat. The officer observed rear damage to the witness's motor vehicle. The witness stated the defendant was transported to the hospital. The officer observed heavy front damage to the defendant's motor vehicle, but no closed or open containers in his motor vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant at Katy Memorial for Mental Hospital. The defendant stated that on March 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m., he was drinking at a friend's house. The defendant stated he drank until 4 a.m. the next morning. He admitted to driving under the influence, resulting in a major accident. The defendant had visible scrapes and injuries on his face, arms, and legs. The officer observed the strong odor of alcohol upon his breath, red bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. SFSTs were administered. 6 out of 6 were observed on the HGN. The walk and turn and one-leg stand could not be conducted due to injuries. IVs and the defendant had IVs and the defendant was wearing a neck brace. The nurse checked his vitals and ensured the defendant was in good health to be discharged from the hospital. The defendant was read the DIC and agreed to a breath test. The results were 0.166 and 0.169.
How long from the time of the accident to the time that he goes to the hospital? Is it immediate?
So I don't believe it states what time the accident occurred and what time he was transported to EMS, or transported to the hospital, but it's before the officers were able to arrive on scene and do an investigation of the accident.
He doesn't write down what time the accident is? Do you have the OR?
Been a lot of that going on lately in DIMS.
I don't understand who's writing these reports.
I don't know, I thought intake was
No,
supposed
I
to
don't get it.
improve on January.
It's important to know how long it takes him to get to the hospital, right? And then I guess he's discharged immediately after he gets to the hospital. I mean, that can't be because he does, how long does it take to get into an emergency room? It takes forever. When I have a family member that goes to the hospital, it takes 12 hours just to get seen.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he blows a 16 after. I mean, I don't know, look, I'll give you a little bit of time. Take a look to see.
And getting, hopefully the office report can clear up. We don't have that back yet. Correct.
I just want to know that there's not a disconnect. Like it doesn't take 12 hours to get from here to here. Because you know how long it takes to get to hospitals and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to put it on hold for now because we got a
Just
whole.
today or?
No. Later, like I'll give him a couple, like maybe an hour or so. Do you have
Okay.
anywhere else to go?
I have plenty of places to go.
Yeah, I bet. So go do what you need to do. Come back. Let's revisit PC in a little bit. Will you? Please?
Absolutely.
Okay. Take a seat if you're in the jury box. Don't leave.
Either way, it's the same day, just no matter what.
And then I think that we need to do a name change because they have it under Santos, but his name is De Los Santos. De Los Santos is the last name, not just Santos. Nathan, and it's De Los Santos.
That's correct. All 3 separate.
Or a name change. Right. But it starts with De Los Santos. Right. So that's, yeah. We're going to do a name change.
So you have the office report back.
Okay. Are you ready now or do you want some time to look?
Can we have? Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Based upon the offense report not having any, go ahead and stand here, and the DIMS report not having the information that they're seeking, I think at this time, no probable cause finding is appropriate. However, it's my understanding that Chief Pace, since I trained him, will probably go and figure out all these facts and get it refiled correctly.
I wanted to give you a little bit of time. If,
Contact the officer.
huh?
I'm going to contact the officer.
And we already
I didn't
have.
want to go that far. I wanted to just see what the report has. Because you being able to go contact the officers a little bit just beyond this, because it's not fair to them. But what I'm looking for is how long it takes from the accident to get to the hospital, to see, is it him that's driving? Is he intoxicated at the time of driving? Because that's what it calls for, right? That's what we need to know. So if you can just take a look real quick, go do what you need to do. Come back maybe like 45 minutes. I just want to know what the timing.
I was just gonna suggest, we already have a date of 4/14, that they could get this done in the interim and not have to scramble today with 50 other arraignments. That's all I was suggesting. But it's up to the court.
Looking at the OR, the timeline is not.
It's not in
OR
there.
for that.
They put any time in the OR?
The times that I have is that the witness said that they had been there since 6:30, sorry, I don't know what that is about, but, the only time that I have is that the blood sample was taken at,
Breath run.
8.
Breath run.
He didn't write down what time the accident happened? Or what time he gets on the scene? There's gotta be something, you know? Look at the MDTs, there's gotta be a time when
Sorry,
dude.
I'm looking at the wrong offense report, Judge, I apologize.
It's okay.
I do have based on the accident report, the crash time was 5:50, in the morning. And I'm not seeing, what we don't have your honor is, I think it's time. Went wrong.
I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned what time he gets to the hospital.
Yeah.
Crash occurs at 5 something in the morning.
Okay.
Does
And
he get
he's
to the-
admitted to the emergency room at 7 a.m., so it's roughly 1 hour after.
Well, he gets admitted at 7 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, so we're about an hour and a half after the crash. What time does the officer get there? Start interviewing, do you know?
The crash is at 5:50 a.m. The officers transport the defendant in at 6, so 10 minutes later. And
They transport him to the hospital.
yes,
Okay.
it's admitted in his emergency room at 7.
What time does the officer get there to start the interview? Mr. Beadle, I just want to know that everything is in close proximity, because if he gets there, he starts interviewing like 12 hours later, I'm gonna have a problem.
And I think the DIMS will probably be supplemented appropriately. I know how much business you have today. I see all the arraignments here sitting in the audience. I think that they will get it done by the 14th of April, which is what I already have a date for. But I leave it to the court's discretion. I'm fairly certain it's not in there. You're doing great, by the way.
Your Honor, I don't see a time, it just needs to follow right with the hospital.
And the blood draws what time?
It's at,
For the breath test, sorry.
Which is weird in and of itself, Judge, because they said he couldn't do the one leg stand or the walk and turn.
Because
But then they took him off to another location to do a breath test. It's just kind of weird.
it doesn't state, Your Honor.
you don't even have the time of the breath test?
I get it, no.
So it looks like if we're looking at her I would ask that we would to leave right to review it before considering it.
What do you think?
We have a date for the 14th. I'm sure they'll do it before
Okay.
then. His appearance is waived anyway, so he doesn't have to be here.
Okay, so,
Do you want to put some potential conditions on
No, I
him,
don't.
assuming? Okay.
so I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. Any prior DWIs? And valid license?
No prior DWIs and his driver's license is valid.
Okay, as long as you have valid liability insurance and a Texas driver license, you may continue to drive. But if you don't have car insurance, do not drive. It is a condition of your bond. Don't consume alcohol, don't use illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll waive your appearance while you're on bond in this court, but you must stay in touch with them. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging or you pick up a new case, all bets off. I will put you in jail. You understand? Okay, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll get you with Fleischer for your bond condition, then you're free to go. All right, Mr. Beadle, always a pleasure. Happy Friday.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right.
Hi, Maria, you ready? Come on. Do you have an arraignment? Okay. Do you need a translator? Okay, please. For which one?
For the affidavit I just gave, she's, the young lady.
Yeah.
And then May 14th.
What was the last name? Lechuga. Really? Lechuga.
Yeah.
All right, good morning, Mr. Lechuga. Good morning. So you're charged with displaying a fictional license, is it plate, right?
That's it.
You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 2025, at approximately 6:32 a.m., an officer observed a vehicle with expired registration as of June 2021. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer ran the license plate and it returned to a different vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant, the sole occupant, and the defendant stated he purchased the vehicle 7 months ago and had not been able to register the vehicle due to long work hours. The defendant was detained and the defendant stated he had already received a citation for displaying a fictitious license plate by the LaPorte Police Department in January of this year.
Okay. Can you run his license, please? Does he have a license? Mr. Lechuga, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am placing conditions on your bond now that you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, car insurance. God forbid you get into an accident and you maim someone and they come after you and sue you for $50,000. You got to hire a lawyer. You'll never crawl out of that hole. That's why you get car insurance, because they're not on purposement, they're accidents for a reason. When you have insurance, they represent you, they'll get a lawyer for you. That's why you need it. If you don't have it, don't drive. Do you understand?
His driver's license is eligible.
Okay. So as long as you have those two, you may continue to drive. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Casanova and Mish. They'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. She tells you that you pick up a new case, you start acting a fool in the free world, I will take it away from you. All right, I'll have you sign a resale with Victoria and then we'll get you out of here. Thank you.
No driving affidavit?
Just, can you file conditions, no driving without insurance?
Yeah.
We'll have you sign these conditions and then you're free to go. Okay. States conditions.
All right, Judge, next is page 5, Escamilla. Come on up.
You were on bond for an assault case that have taken off on us at least 3 different times, and now you've picked up a new case. You were charged with failure to identify oneself while being a fugitive from justice. On that case, you're now facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 7, 2025, at approximately 4:44 p.m., an officer observed a vehicle with expired registration as of December 2024. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, advised he did not have any form of ID on his person, and provided his name as Daniel Escamilla, date of birth, April 24th, 1998. The officer did a search and saw the defendant did not resemble the Texas driver's license that came up for Daniel Escamilla. The officer got a hit for David Escamilla, the defendant's real name, and saw there was an outstanding warrant. The Texas driver's license photo for David Escamilla resembled the defendant. The officer utilized mobile APIS and confirmed that the defendant was David Escamilla. The defendant admitted to providing the officer with his twin brother's information instead of his own due to the open warrant.
Do you see if he has a license? Can you check, please?
Yeah, this is ineligible, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Escamilla, I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today. I don't give a rat's behind what is going on in your life. If you don't have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not to drive. And if I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have a lawyer, Mr. Escamilla.
No, sir.
I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today. Your assault case is 1,000 days old. We are going to figure out what happens with this case today. Can you appoint him a lawyer, please? If this case gets reset today, you will get an ankle monitor, and I'm going to send you for a drug test right now. I want to ensure that you're not using anything as well. You know what? Let's just do that now. Police, if you can send him, please.
Yes, Judge.
If you fail to take the test, If you fail to come back, I'm gonna make your bond so high you'll have hair falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
next time you take off on me and fail to come to court, so help me on those bonds. Do you understand?
Yes.
Take a seat for me.
Mr. Stephanie, will be here, please? Judge, does he have a note on this?
I'm gonna, yeah, GPS monitor gets it on today. No alcohol, no drugs, no contact with the complaining witness in the assault case.
Yes, there's a pen right here.
Judge, you ready?
Go for it.
The next one is gonna be page 7. Golf. Here's a felony on the warrants of the.
Good morning, Mr. Goff. The reason that we took you into custody now is because you were on deferred for an aggravated assault of a family member. It looks like that's in warrant status now and no bond, actually. With us, you've picked up a possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 5th, 2025, at approximately 11:50 p.m., an officer observed a vehicle parked in a handicapped parking space with no displayed license plate or placard and then leave the parking lot. The vehicle had expired registration as of July 2024. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendant was the driver and he was ID'd by his Texas ID card. The officer observed the strong odor of marijuana emitting from the vehicle and the defendant admitted to being in possession of several small plastic bags of marijuana under the driver's seat. A probable cause search was conducted and 4 bags were located under the driver's seat, 0.154 ounces.
All right, Mr. So he doesn't have a license, correct?
His driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
Mr. Goff, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm not putting any conditions on your bond now. Just behave. That's all I'm asking you to do. You know, you're on felony probation. You're supposed to have a halo over your head, you know? When you don't, bad things happen, as you now see. Can you go ahead and appoint him a lawyer now? So I'm going to appoint you a lawyer so that you can speak to someone. We'll take you into custody now. You'll probably hit felony court Monday, and then we'll just give you a reset of like a week or two to figure out what happens. Okay? All right, man. Good luck.
All right, Judge, next is page 14. Martin, James. Wayne. Lana.
I can.
What was the last name?
Page 14, novel 14, Martin.
Good morning, Mr. Martin. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 8th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a weapons call at 829 Custer Street in Harris County, Texas. The caller stated that there were about 10 people fighting and the caller saw a gun. The officer observed a multitude of people walking from the street into the property and saw the defendant fitting the description as the person with the gun. The officer approached the defendant and he admitted to having a gun on his person. Upon the frisk, the officer found the outline of a firearm in a crossbody bag on the defendant's person. The officer removed the handgun from the bag. The defendant is 19 years old.
What's he doing wrong? Hold on. All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case, Mr. Martin. Be careful, you know, you're 19, you have a gun, God forbid you use it, put yourself in such a deep hole, you know, really. Go to school, get some knowledge, get a good job, you'll get a ton of money, and then life's great. Life sucks without money, I promise you. Don't end up in a hole, hang out with dogs, because all you're gonna do is get fleas, you know? Take a seat, please.
All right, Judge, next is page 14, 15, and 16. Martin, Joseph, come on up.
Joseph Martin?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Martin, you have a total of 4 open cases. You're charged with 4 counts of assault. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 8th, 2025, officers were dispatched to 4527 Perry Street in Houston, Texas, in Harris County regarding an assault. The complainant, Hayes, stated that she was in a verbal argument with the defendant, and that led to her being pushed by the defendant. Complainant Hayes said that she hurt her hand due to being pushed into a car with the defendant and that she felt pain. The complainant, McDaniel, then stated that she confronted the defendant to see if her friend getting assaulted by the defendant. The defendant then started swinging and struck the back of Daniel's head, and that complainant felt pain as well. Complainant Powell then stated that she was assaulted by the defendant due to also trying to defend her friend, complainant Hayes. Complainant Powell says that he approached them to confront the defendant, and the defendant just started swinging and that she got struck by the defendant. Complainant Powell stated that she does not recall how that she was hit, but that she felt pain. Complainant Martin stated that she knows the defendant from school and they both attend TSU. The complainant Martin stated that she was trying to calm the defendant down, but does not remember the physical assault due to her being knocked out unconscious by the defendant. Complainant Martin felt pain. A witness stated that she saw the whole incident and saw that the defendant was arguing with complainant Hayes and that the defendant started pushing complainant Hayes into a vehicle. Complainant Martin was then trying to de-escalate the situation and stated that when she saw complainant Martin get struck by the defendant and get knocked unconscious for approximately 2 minutes.
Is that number 3 or 2?
That's 4.
That's the 4th.
That's 4th, Your Honor. The witness then stated that she saw the defendant punch complainant Martin on the left side of the face. The defendant admitted to being involved in the physical altercation with the complainant and pushing them away. The complainant 2 had a knot on the back of her head. Complainant 3 had a small swelling on the left side of her face. And complainant 4 had small swelling under her left eye and was transported to the hospital due to being unconscious.
All this happens at TSU?
It is. It was a party. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now barring you from going to TSU.
Yes, sir.
I'm barring you now from going to TSU.
Oh.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with any of the complaining witnesses in this case, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, not to be in possession of weapons. If I find that you're a danger to my community, I will do everything in my power to take you off the street. Do you understand?
Sir, I understand. May I ask what this bar?
Huh.
Okay.
You have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Martin.
No, sir.
You work.
Sir.
I'll have you fill out an application. Deputy Miranda will give you an application. I'll see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. Then I'll have you meet with Felicia for your bond conditions. Life is way too short to sit in a box that's 6 by 9, man. Keep my city safe. Otherwise, it's going to go sideways real quick. You understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay, come on.
Thank you. I'll go.
Right this way. All right, Judge, next is page 16. Gordo Angel.
So don't worry about filing conditions because I'm going to have it done with Fleischer. So we'll have them monitored for alcohol.
Good morning, Honor.
Good morning, sir. Let's just real quick.
We're gonna sign the receipt, please. we said for your next court date.
Yes, you
Okay, what was your last name again?
Mejorado, Mujorado.
I see. Okay, Mr. Mejorado, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 9th, 2025, at approximately 3:30 a.m., officers were dispatched in response to a motor vehicle that ran off the road. The officers respond to the defendant's motor vehicle, a Dodge Ram, in a grassy area adjacent to a service road on the East Freeway. Service road, in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant and walked over to the defendant walked over and advised that he was leaving the parking lot and lost control of the motor vehicle when he drove through the puddle of water. The defendant's motor vehicle left the road and got stuck in the mud. The defendant stated his friends were there helping him pull the motor vehicle from the mud. The officer observed glassy eyes, slurred speech, and odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated that he did not have anything to drink, and the officers relocated him to JPC to continue the investigation. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 3 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and consented to brag. And the results were a .148 and a .143. It was identified by his Texas driver's license.
Yes, sir, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. You look to see any prior DWIs, and if he has.
There's no prior DWIs and his license is.
Okay. Mr. Mejorado, I'm ordering you as the condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Likewise, if I find that you're driving without insurance, your bond will be revoked. You will go into custody. You understand?
Sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No.
I'll have you fill out an application. I'll look to see whether you qualify. Deputy Miranda is going to give an application. We'll have you fill it out. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions. Then I'll take a look at it shortly. Please.
All right, Judge, counsel is approaching on page 6. Alon? Rachel? Alana?
Okay. Happy Friday. How are you? Good. Good. We made it. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am.
On March 9th, at approximately 3:14 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle driving without taillights and swerving its own lane side to side. The officer observed the vehicle failed to maintain a single lane and merged into another lane, almost colliding with the vehicle in that lane. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and she was identified by her Texas driver's license. The officer observed the defendant have bloodshot eyes, blurred speech, and odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath and person. The defendant stated that she had 2 tequila drinks. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were a .137 and a .132.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. You also look prior DWI's license, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Judge, on the testing, what is that? If I can pass on that message.
Just random testing. No alcohol, no dope,
Okay.
illegal drugs.
Yeah, I guess just so I can pass it on, if there's a pattern of nothing, can he reapproach in the future?
Of course. It's gotta, I mean, Don't come in 2 weeks though.
No.
Right, but yes, of course.
The license is eligible, no priority date.
Okay, so you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with them. They'll tell you when you have to come back to court. As long as you don't pick up any new cases, we'll be fine. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll get you with Felicia for your bond conditions, then you're free to go, man.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Right this way. Next judge is case 18, Robinson conduct.
Don't put your stuff on the table. Yeah. Right here in front of the judge.
Good morning, Mr. Robinson.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 7th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, at 315 Capitol Street in Houston, Texas. The complainant is a security guard for the building and was walking around Bagby when he found the defendant sleeping on the sidewalk. The defendant was not supposed to be there, and the complainant told him repeatedly that the defendant was not allowed to be there until around 11 p.m. at night. The defendant then began to get hostile and aggressive and threatened to shoot the complainant while slowly reaching into his bag. The complainant feared for his life.
Did you say he's not allowed to be there until 11 p.m.? Did I hear you say that? What is it?
I don't know. But when the complainant, we did not charge a trespass in this case. So when the complainant said you're not allowed to be there, we leave back at 11, and that's when the responded to my
Say it again. What did he say again?
Complainant repeatedly told the defendant that he was not allowed to stay there until after 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And since it was before 11 p.m., he was therefore trespassing and not allowed to be on the premises. The defendant had threatened the complainant that he was going to get his gun and shoot him by signaling this fight go in his bag with his plant field first.
He said, I'm going to get my gun and shoot you.
I don't have it both ways say the complainant, the defendant threatened the complainant that he was going to get his gun and shoot him, signaling this by going to his bag.
Ask a question.
Who wrote the report? The actual officer who got threatened or someone else?
The officer did not write the report. I mean, the officer wrote the report, not the security guard. The security guard was the one who was threatening.
Mr. Robinson, I'm going to find probable cause for now. Okay. Let me give you a lawyer. Talk to the lawyer. Just don't have any contact with the security guard. That's the only thing I'm going to ask you to do, right?
If I might say real quick, I know you're busy. They have a city ordinance. That's why you can't lay at 11. But I was recently jumped. I got my medical records.
Look, don't tell me because I've got a bunch of DAs. I don't want you to say something that hurts the case. Let me give you a lawyer. Everything you say, when you want to tell me, tell the lawyer, and then they can tell me
I
what.
understand.
Okay.
Because the man works this location, and we're not in contact with this location.
What is this? What is this
It's
place?
in the hospital building downtown.
That's the tongue. That's where I was at.
Don't go back, please. The problem is I don't want you to run into the security officer. Then more bad blood comes up. They found more charges. That's why.
I understand. I never said that I ain't tripping. I already filed a motion for discovery inspection. I didn't even have a bag on me.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat. Let me find you a lawyer. and
Yes,
then-
sir.
Okay, please.
Right this way.
If you can file this, please, the condition. No going back. Sorry?
Whenever you're ready to sign.
Yeah. I thought I signed it. Yeah, I signed it already.
You didn't know just now.
Yeah, so we can get them out. Mr. Lechuga, come up. We'll have you sign your condition. We'll get you out.
All right, Judge, you ready?
Yeah.
Next one is page 22, De La Sana.
Mr. Victor, please.
Good morning, Mr. Villasana.
Morning.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 7th, 2025, at approximately 7 p.m., officers dispatched a person down on the West Digital Road in Harris County, Texas. The officers spoke with a witness who, the witness stated that the defendant was parked when he got to the location and was asleep in his motor vehicle. The vehicle was turned on with all doors were off. The witness stated that he knocked on the window multiple times to see if the defendant wakes up, that the defendant did not respond to knocking, and that the witness had to use a special tool to open the door and was only able to get the defendant, who seemed a little bit off. The witness stated that the defendant had told him that he had been drinking a few hours prior to driving to the gas station, and that he observed a brisk man in the middle of the car, asked the defendant about it. The witness stated that the defendant had been in the hospital 3 days ago for alcohol problems, and another witness stated that multiple customers had stated that the defendant had been parked at the gas station, and when that gas station made access to witness to the cameras and saw the defendant's car had been parked there since 6:30. The witness too went outside to check on the defendant, and the defendant was asleep and tried to wake up the defendant by knocking on the door, but he did not wake up. The motor vehicle was on. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, poor balance, and disorientation. He refused SFSTs and admitted to consuming alcohol a few hours prior. A open container of Jim Beam bottle was locked in a hidden compartment of the passenger seat, and an empty can of Four Loko was located in the center console. A styrofoam cup with a lid and a cup holder with a liquid matching the color of the liquid in that Jim Beam bottle was also found. The DIC was read and the defendant refused breath. The blood warrant was signed and executed and identified by his Texas driver's license.
Are you telling me that he had alcohol in the car while driving?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villasana, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months of jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you to obtain a portable device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to us that you're not consuming alcohol. If you have a problem with alcohol or illegal substances, you better address it, because if you don't, and it becomes a problem, I'm going to do it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I am sending notice to DPS and I'm placing a restriction on your license that you are not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it. I'm sending notice now to DPS in Austin so that every police officer in this state knows that if you're caught driving a vehicle and that vehicle doesn't have an interlock, they will take you to jail. Because I'm ordering you not to drive now, that's why I'm giving you a portable device. But do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You get no more warnings. If I find that you do, I'm going to lose it. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Sir.
Okay, we will give you time to go hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria where we will have you sign a reset. You will get with Fleischer your bond conditions. After that, you're free to go. Be careful, Mr. Villasana. Okay.
First, this is the. All right, Judge, next is the Spanish speaker, age 3, Castillo.
Buenos días, nomás escucha el juez. Dice,
Bottom of the page.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. You are Alejandro Castillo.
sí. Yes,
Mr. Castillo, you're charged with failure to stop and give information. Essentially leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
no.
On March sixth,
March
2025, at 9 a.m. Officers were dispatched with a crash at a location in Colorado, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met the complainant. The complainant stated that she was sitting at a red light and she was struck by the defendant, and then the defendant left the scene. The complainant was able to get the vehicle's license plate. The complainant followed the defendant through a residential neighborhood where the defendant lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a house about a mile from the original crash. The complainant demanded damage to be around $2,500. And it is not under license.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Okay. Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, and immigration finds you in the jail because they sweep it every single day, every couple hours. If they find you in there, they will place an immigration detainer on you. And you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration where you will sit. It takes 9 months just to get a 911 tape here. So you will sit for that time, then shipped off to immigration. I don't know what your status is, but if you're not here with permission, you better live with a halo over your head and not violate any conditions that I put on you now. I'm ordering you not to drive. You do not have a Texas driver license. You do not have liability insurance. You are not to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care that you need groceries. I don't care that a baby needs to go to the hospital. If you don't have a Texas driver license and liability insurance and approval from us, you are not allowed to drive. If I find that you break this condition, your bond goes bye-bye. You have the ability to hire a lawyer.
¿Ocupar su propio abogado? No. ¿Usted puede ocupar su propio abogado si no? No.
I can have you fill out an application and I will take a look to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you. We are filing conditions that you're not to drive. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Deputy Miranda is now going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I will have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir.
Was that financial affidavit?
Yeah.
All right, Judge, next is page 8. Brad, come on up.
No more Spanish speakers?
No, don't tell it.
Okay. Hey, what's up, girl? Good to see you.
Please take a seat.
Good morning, Mr. Reyes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Always a pleasure.
Nice to see you, Judge. Same here, sir. Looking sharp, Judge.
You're Miss Grab?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 9th, 2025, at approximately 1:08 a.m., an officer observed a vehicle on the 5,000 block of West Road, Harris County, Texas, speeding, going 58 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. This was confirmed by Officer Rear. The officer followed the vehicle and observed the vehicle to fail to maintain a single lane several times. A traffic stop was initiated. The vehicle did not initially stop. The officer initiated sirens, at which point the defendant's vehicle increased in speed and continued to fail to maintain a single lane and failed to signal lane changes to get around another vehicle as the officer was in pursuit. The vehicle finally came to a stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed the defendant to have red, bloodshot eyes, thick, slurred speech, and the strong odor of an alcoholic beverage upon her breath. The defendant admitted to coming from a wine bar and said she had 2 glasses of wine. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues observed on the HGN, 5 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn, 3 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were 0.100 and 0.101.
You said she was going 50 speeding or 40?
58 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour.
Got it. Okay. All right. Ms. Grab, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Sure.
You have a lawyer. He will take care of you. Because you do, I will waive your appearance. Just stay in touch with him and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, we'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. Oh, does she have a license?
Yes.
No prior DWIs?
No prior DWIs.
Okay, we'll have you sign a reset, Victoria. You're not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance as well. If you don't have car insurance, do not drive. That is a condition of your bond as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll have you sign a reset, Victoria. You'll get with Fleischer your bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
Thank you.
Take care.
Right this way. All right, the judge next is page 22. Wolf, come on up. Oh. All right.
Good morning, Mr. Wolf.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 7th, 2025, Officer 1 was dispatched to check by a unit at the 3800th block of Revocation Street regarding a minor crash. Officer 1 made contact with Officer 2, who on-viewed a 2 motor vehicle accident. Officer 2 observed the defendant operating a silver Ford minivan and crashed with a black Honda Santa Fe. Both drivers were moved to a gas station. The witness observed the defendant driving the silver minivan and stated she observed the defendant crash into her. The officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot, glossy eyes and sluggish speech and poor balance. SFSTs were administered, 6 out of 6 clues on the HGN, 5 out of 8 clues on the walk and turn, 3 out of 4 clues on the one-leg stand. The defendant was placed under arrest and read the DIC, and he consented to provide a blood specimen.
It's not back.
No.
Prior DWI, just one from with us or any more?
It looks like there is a pending DWI from Galveston County from back in 2021.
Can you please confirm whether that is actually pending now? Because I'm going to have big issues if that is actually pending. Please. I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case, Mr. Wolf. I'm ordering you now. Just take a seat for me in the jury box. I'm not ready to go forward. I want to know if you have an open DWI.
All right, Judge, that's it for now. The council needs to approach.
Anyone? Oh, I know I got you. Greg. Are you ready?
Yeah, hey, Judge, how are you?
Give me 1 second, Greg.
Yeah.
Espinosa, Jesse Espinosa. He's one that we submitted the PTI, but they're still evaluating it. And they just, state said, and I guess we do too, need more, respectfully ask the court for more time to consider,
Everything's been submitted?
yes, sir.
Is he on docket tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the one that we rolled from yesterday, right?
So.
Yes, I see.
And we had scrolled the case for the month.
Los Santos?
So we reached out to, Judge Geis, and, we have still not heard back from her yet.
Judge,
Reached out to her yesterday. Guys, Ashley, Geis, she's,
oh, I'm sorry.
Everything's filed, right?
yes.
Okay, all right, so we'll give you a week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, now is.
Ralph, has he done a TRAS yet? Okay, so let's do this. So if it's not approved by next week, I'll waive the appearance. If it's approved, he needs to be here to take a TRAS. And we'll send him to do a walkthrough, okay?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, for sure. Okay, Greg, I'm sorry.
Hey, Judge, I think you took my client into custody. It's, Mr. Goff. There may have been a felony warrant. I don't know if y'all did PC on this. This is just a marijuana case.
Yeah, I did PC on it. I found PC already.
Okay.
He's probably gonna hit felony court Monday, so if you want to set it for sometime next week, I'm happy to do it, or if you want to do it later, it's up to you.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
you
mean,
want, I'm happy with.
I'm in your court Tuesday. I mean, well, actually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I don't care whatever day y'all want.
Pick a day.
I just don't know when he's going to felony. I would just do the day after. So you want to shoot for Wednesday just in case?
Yeah. Done.
Okay.
Did you get anyone else?
Not yet. I'll jump back on if I get someone.
Mr. D.
Yes, sir. Hi, I'm here on Mr. John C. Joseph. It's my understanding that you want to talk to him and see why he didn't appear in court on his last court date.
Is he here?
Yes, sir. Mr. Joseph.
It's just.
So this is basically an arraignment.
Yes, sir. I understand that we were going to do it as an arraignment.
He's been AWOL. It's now 400 days, 350 days old. Mr. Joseph, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with burglary of a motor vehicle. You're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Your cases are now 352 days old. It's time to decide what we're going to do. Do you have offers on these cases?
No, sir. We're still waiting for the security video.
We do have an offer, but yes, we are waiting on the security
I
video.
need you to get on it
Absolutely.
yesterday.
Yes.
I'm ready to set this case for trial. Way too much trauma, and I'm not gonna just.
Yes.
Mr. Joseph, I'm now going to put an ankle monitor so I know where you are at all times. If I find that you have one on now, you take off on me again, I'm gonna make your bonds extremely high. Do you understand? I will give you a big flight risk and the bonds will go very high. At some point, someone's gonna stop ponying up all this money. You're just giving free money to bonding companies every time you take off, man. That's all you do. On your burglary case, you're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in these cases. You're not to be in possession of weapons.
Did you say?
Already has something going
Yeah.
From, is it from Harris County?
Mm-hmm. I turned myself in the other day and they ain't do nothing better.
Don't say anything. I don't want you to say something. Perhaps the magistrate put it on.
I don't see any magistrate conditions, but.
He's got 2 cases. Look at the other one, please.
Yeah, neither of them were supervising an ankle monitoring board. We had one on him back in April of last year, but we haven't been supervising it since June due to the warrant.
All right, I want to go back to the original bond conditions that had a curfew with the monitor on now. No alcohol, no dope. What do you do with yourself these days, Mr. Johnson? Mr. Joseph?
I just started looking for a job. No, sir. I just started looking for one, filling the application.
I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks. I want to see what you have done to get a job. Did you graduate from high school?
No, sir.
That's what we're going to also work on as well. I want to see what you've done to start working on your GED as well. I'm giving you 2 weeks. If you've not done anything, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. D, we'll give you a couple weeks, but I want him back in 2 weeks here to see what we've done to either get a job or get his GED.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if nothing, then it doesn't go well.
Yes, sir.
All right? Hey, hold on, Mr. D.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna talk to Shatori to give him that paper for GED so we can get free.
I'll make sure he definitely wants to get that.
Vic, I granted all these.
Okay, no, that's fine.
He has no driving on the conditions as well.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about it.
Oh, okay, yes. Yes.
Hi, Vic. What's up? What's new, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You mean
Gonna do a PSI on it rather than fully upstairs, so it's made my Friday a lot better.
scary though?
It is.
No, let me tell you, I did a PSI once where I was basically going to get probation
Yeah.
and then got smacked with 25.
And it is enhancement. I'm long and it's working and it's got a lot of support. And it's a really silly case. It's a silly case. It's evading arrest, but it's,
I trust you.
yeah,
You know, you're the best, but PSI, it's just,
there's always risk there, but the state was at 15, so.
yeah.
Daniel Melgar, this is my fault, Judge. PTI packet, he had yesterday
Okay,
to Abigail and.
well, not to Judge Geis, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
Everything's submitted?
Everything's submitted, all the discovery is turned over. The point was 6, so it's just a little bit above the, I think he will
Why,
get it.
why, so were you denied?
We're told to submit a mitigation packet, yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't a denial and then you appealed,
Correct,
right? They just submitted a mitigation package.
Resubmit mitigation
Got
packet.
it. All right, we'll give you a week.
Sounds good, Judge.
Hopefully we can have a decision within a week.
I
If
hope
no
so.
decision is made, I will waive the appearance. We'll give them a little bit more time.
Okay,
If it's approved, your guys got to be here so we can send it for a T-Res.
okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
Yes.
And then we'll just come back. Hopefully they got it within a week to make the decision.
Sir,
Yeah.
it's good.
Okay.
Judge, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Good luck, Vic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Lori. Wondering whether you were waiting on someone or?
Mr. Cough, Devin Cough.
Okay.
Go ahead and sign for me.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
With a K or the C? I see, okay.
Morning, Judge.
Sir, you can approach your.
I know you?
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yes, sir. That's what they gave. If you don't have any holes, okay?
You guys show any holes on Mr. Kaufman? Are you on probation or parole at this time?
No.
You were on parole in 22. Is that over now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't show any holds on you now.
It's no holes.
I don't see any. Do you guys? You guys? Yeah, we don't see any holds. But if you continue with what this has happened, and this keeps happening, the sentences just get longer, longer, and longer. All of it self-control, Mr. Kaufman. You're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 15 days in jail with credit for the 7 days that you've done. You need to understand that this is going to go on your record. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? So Lori, the trespass is being dismissed.
Are y'all dismissing the trespass?
Believe so, yes, Your Honor.
We will assist trespass.
There is a trespass, right?
Here's a trespass. Was there plea paperwork for the trespass?
I'll assist.
So they're going to dismiss the other case that you got. But like I said, you're still facing a minimum of 90 days in the future. So you pick up another case, it's just going to be a long time. You understand? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you want something, if you need something, we have services for you. If you need a place to sleep, you need food to eat, we got you. All you got to do is ask. But this, you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal, Mr. Kaufman. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take it off. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I'll send you to it. Good luck, sir. Thanks, Lord. James. Yeah.
Judge, can I start with Alator Aristelsi for bond violation? She tested positive on 3/4 on March 4th for cocaine, Judge.
Can you bring her up, please?
And Judge, this is her first bond violation. If you'd be willing to give.
Ordered you not to use, you're now testing positive for cocaine. That's unacceptable. No, I'm not going to let you go. You know, I mean, you know, marijuana, alcohol. No, you're testing positive for cocaine. Unacceptable. I order you not to use. Now I have to take further action to ensure that you're not using. First, I'm going to revoke your bond. You go into custody.
Judge, would you allow her to do a walkthrough bond?
No. I need you to realize that we mean business, that when we tell you not to use, especially cocaine, you're not to use. I'm sorry.
Would you
Goes
set
with you.
on that, Judge?
5,001.
5,001. And Judge, I have two more. I have Enrique Flores.
Enrique Flores, come up.
And Judge, on this one, he was in lockout since March 6th. He missed a recalibration appointment. He was working in San Antonio. He does construction work. He didn't know he had that recalibration appointment. He's no longer in lockout. And so I think it was just an issue. He did not know he had that recalibration appointment, Judge.
This is not a burst bond violation with him missing.
I think it might be the second, Judge.
Judge, yes, this is the second, the first one was for the same thing.
Take your time, no rush. Deputy, ain't you going? I need your help. No? Did we let him go the first time?
Yes, Judge.
We didn't take him into custody the first time?
No, Judge.
Unacceptable. He now goes with you.
What would you set his bond at, Judge? 5,000?
What's the last name again?
Flores, Judge?
Yeah, 5,002.
5,000?
Yeah.
All right, Judge, and I have one more, and it's Gomez.
Okay. Jorge Gomez, come up.
So Judge, he did take a drug test today because he had failed to report for a drug test on February 21st, and he tested positive for marijuana.
You see how many people we've taken into custody? I ordered you not to use, and you're now testing positive. If I find that you ever test positive again, I will put you in jail. Do you understand? When I say don't use, I absolutely mean it. You will get tested in 50 days. If I find that you continue to use, into jail you will go. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Absolutely no tolerance here for it. And the next time you miss an appointment, likewise, you will go to jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. In 50 days, Judge?
Yeah, reset 50 days must appear.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Just those two bill orders for that one. You don't want to wrap.
Yeah, I will, absolutely. Will,
You want to try to jump in? All right. Last name?
Hey, Judge, how are you?
hey bud, what's new, man?
Let me pull over real fast. Trying to get home.
50 days.
Take your time, man. Do you wanna,
No, I'm good. I'm pulling my neighborhood right now. I'm here on Weinzel. He is in custody. He was on bond at your court with AFM and then picked up a continuous, same complainant. I've talked to the prosecutors. They're going to dismiss this AFM once he's indicted on the continuous. I've let my client know that. So I just want to get a reset till the day after the felony date.
got it. I'm gonna revoke the bond on our case, though. He's on bond, it's set at 1,000. So he picked up another assault against the same complaining witness, you say?
Yeah, his
Right.
nephew. It says.
So I'm gonna revoke it. I'll set it at 5,001.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And then I guess just keep us in the loop. The felony set for 4/28. You want the day after?
Sir.
Yeah, is that okay? The 4/29?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you not hear? Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Who's that?
Page 38.
Mine's a
Oh, okay. Oh, you're okay. 429 after the felony?
yes.
Yeah.
You revoked somebody. Who was that?
Flores.
And, oh, no, not those. I thought one Will was talking about. That's the last page. That's Mango. That's the one you just revoked, Judge?
Yeah, on Wenzel. Uh-huh.
May I be excused, Judge?
Is that it, Will?
That's all I got, Judge.
Okay, man, have fun. Good luck with the interview.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
Greg, do you need me?
Yes, Judge. I was appointed to a new one. It's a DWI Class B. Angel David Mejorado.
Page 16.
Mejorado, come up. Okay, that is Mr. Gregg, who has been appointed to represent you. We've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. You know the conditions. Don't use. I'm not asking for much. I just want my street safe. Don't use. You see what happens when you use. I have one person after the other. We're gonna have to, you know?
Sir,
We don't need another sardine. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Okay. We'll have you sign a reset. We'll get you with your paperwork, and then after that, you're free to go.
We have this information.
Yeah, reset will have his phone number on it. You must get in contact with him. In fact,
Call me to check in, okay?
Yes,
you
sir.
get his
You get
cell
out of
phone,
court.
so
I want to talk to you about it.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get
I
your
will-
cell phone real quick. Greg, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Judge, May 13th through the 15th.
Let's see. Let's go with, the 14th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Deputy Chief. All right, come on, Greg, I'll give you.
All right, Judge, that's all I have. For now, again.
Is that a 6168?
6168.
All right, there it is. Okay, man. We'll have you take a seat. We'll get you with your paperwork, and then you're gonna be free to go. Okay, he'll
and
call you
I
here
got the
within an hour.
number. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Come on up, please.
Yes, I can.
All right, so Mr. McGee, you've worked out an incredible, well, not you, your lawyer has worked out an incredible deal. You're charged with it's 5 open cases, right? Shh. You're charged with evading arrest, failure to identify oneself, evading arrest, theft, burglary of a motor vehicle, and I think that's it, right? As part of the agreement, you're going to plead guilty to the burglary of a motor vehicle and the evading arrest. You need to understand that both of these cases are enhanceable cases, meaning if you pick up another one of these cases, it's very possible they charge you with a felony offense. Now, on the burglary case, it may be 2 or 3. I think it's a third, it's a felony. But on the evading case, you pick up a second one, you're looking at a felony charge, years instead of days. You understand? So I don't know who you're hanging out with. I don't know what you got going on in your life, but you got to surround yourself with better people, because you start the wrong people, they're going to bring you down. Don't become another statistic. We have enough Black and brown people in custody now. Don't become a statistic. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you plead guilty to these cases. You can't do anything else. It goes on your record. It'll be there forever. How do you plead to both cases guilty? Mr. McGee, if you need anything, just come back, talk to me. I'll get you whatever you need. If you want a place to stay, food, cell phone, tablet, we can work just about anything to get you what you need. It's never a problem.
Yes, sir.
But would you get out there, you get on the street, you gotta be careful, man. You get but one life. You don't get another one. There's no redos. Good luck, man. Yes, ma'am. It's 30 days, I'm sorry, 30 days in jail, credit for the 29 and 31.
Okay.
So we need 3 dismissals on that, right? You did? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Judge, would you let, Ms. Aristelsey do time served today, if she wanted to do that? Because she was just brought into custody for the,
She really wants to plead guilty, doesn't want to do anything else?
no, I'm just saying if you would be willing to, if she wanted to. Because sometimes when someone's bond violated, you do not like to accept a time served offer on that same day.
I mean, if she wants to, she's old enough to know. It's not
Yeah.
like she's a child.
She has a little bit of a criminal history, so she,
Oh, whoa.
she could.
Does she have a pride EWI?
No, Judge,
Okay, as long as she doesn't have a pride EWI, then I'm good with whatever you guys want.
she could probably qualify for the DUI PTI if she provided mitigation, but because of her priors, I don't think they'll auto approve her.
If they would approve.
Not automatically.
There's a chance you'd be approved, but it would require mitigation.
Right.
Yeah. So all that to say, it might just take a
Yeah,
little
just
bit.
talk to her. I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
Okay, let me talk to her right now, Judge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Wait, she's right there.
From the custody, but we don't have to set there.
There's no room. I mean, that's not fun.
Right, they're gonna send out this. I just want to make sure if I got this one.
Well, hold on, because she might be doing something different. She might be taking something.
Okay, perfect.
Ma'am, do you have a case in here?
I have lots of cases.
No, I know you.
Oh,
Behind you. No. Yes, what is your last name?
Yes, fired Marcos Rodriguez attorney. Marcos and Gonzalez.
What is your last name?
There's an arraignment, Judge, on page 2.
It's weird he's not here.
Yeah, I think he had, it's spring break, so he had, I forget her name, helping him out.
Do you want to go ahead and do it? Is he out of town? Do you know?
I assume as much, because she's been all week waiting for him.
Ooh. Oh, right.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Yeah, I mean,
But for Mr. Flores, we're good on that one? We're good on that one?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me.
Oh, so the Okay, yeah, you can say something, just wait under it for me. I got it.
So the new date is we're talking May 15th?
For arraignments only, it's 2 months out.
Yeah, so. Ready? Hey, good morning.
And appointed to Mr. Blau.
This money,
To who?
Ramos,
Okay.
Carlos Ramos.
Is he in jail?
Yes.
This is a little bit, long-winded one, so I can.
You look like you were kind of iffy.
I'm playing catch up, Your Honor.
Well, so just
Too.
to give you some background,
There's no rush. Take your time.
so in August of '24, he picked up a third-degree PCS.
I remember now.
He had an attempted auto theft, that was a cheap case, did it for 18 months. That was done in September of 20. Then, in March of this year, it was picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 third-degree theft cases.
We were talking about this yesterday. It looks like it was one of those burglary rings where they're taking like tons of cars and is it like a chop shop
It
type
sounds
thing?
like that sort of, I don't have all the details of the felony, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
What kind of puts us down here in a little bit of a bind is all of the allegations of the MHA are all the felony offenses.
He has no technicals?
Doesn't appear that.
Really? He was doing good on
He was
probation?
doing good on probation. He's
Wow,
completed the
until these
8 year.
cases, obviously.
I can maybe get him on the co-defendants. One of the conditions was having contact with co-defendants, but I don't know who they are.
Can you let her know? That is, I mean, that, if that's a condition, that's a condition, right? One of them is, I don't know, would you mind sharing who the co-defendants are, just to see if that's something? And then, I can give you time regardless. He's at no bond on all those cases anyway, so if you want to set it maybe a week or so out, that'll give you time as well. And then you can always just amend it at any time, if it is. If it's not, and this is the only cases, obviously we can't really.
Move forward.
The problem is that that's gonna take
Right.
forever.
Yeah, and I can see defense's position of, they can't take anything because then it's basically
Yeah.
accepting responsibility.
Yeah.
Unless there's some kind of technical, so I guess share that and we'll go from there. Take your, I mean, if you want to set it a week to,
Sounds good. I'll set it for a week.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Crystal Rollins.
So who do you have?
Crystal Rollins.
Okay.
Submitted for a bond violation this morning.
Come up, Ms. Rollins. We have a problem. You were ordered not to use any illegal substances. You have tested positive or something. I don't know what it is, but I need you guys to talk to see. All I know, it's an amphetamine. I don't know what it is.
It's her prescription medication, Your Honor. I actually have, I don't know if you want to.
Hold on, just, can you show it to them so that they can see, to verify that that's something that would, with Felicia, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then just take a seat from the jury box.
Yes, sir.
Like, I don't want to ding if it's actual, like, medication that's prescribed that she's taking that could give that kind of positive result. So let's take a look to see. And then I'm hoping that that's what it is. Vic, she was here. Yeah.
Judge, Rick Flores was also brought into custody. Would you do time served on him? They just offered it to him. He was the one who was in lockout, Judge.
Right, all right.
Wanted to ask you before we bothered with the plea paperwork.
Just we're willing to offer time served today.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Did you write that up?
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
No problem.
And Judge, would you waive the DPS fine for him? I am court appointed judge.
Okay.
Thank you,
I'm
Judge.
gonna suspend his license.
How long would you like the suspension to be?
180 days.
180 days, okay. Thank you, Judge. Let me tell him.
Judge, I'm having her email the.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, no, I know it's a valid prescription, but would it test positive for this? You know, that's my concern.
It would,
It would?
yes.
Okay. Do you know that for sure, or are you waiting for them to verify? Okay. Okay. Coming up, Ms. Rollins. Okay, you ready? Did you guys let pretrial know that she's taking this medication? Did she?
We were not notified of it, if we were.
Right,
we
okay.
did.
So-
It's not something we would have submitted a bond
Come on up.
package.
In the future, when you're taking something, you have to let them know what you're taking so that they don't ding you on a bond violation, because a lot of times we get people here taking medications and it'll set something off. We don't know. So we're assuming that you're taking something you're not supposed to. So I'm not going to ding you on it. You're fine. Just if you're taking anything else, please let them know so that they won't file these reports and we have to drag you over here for nothing, you know? Okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thanks. So we'll just give you a normal reset. Good luck, Ms. Rollins.
Just because I. It's right next to.
The only girl would be the one. Mine's not. Yeah, I didn't know. I think that everything is more to No, I didn't.
Oh, she's still. I'm leaving right now, so you have
I think, Miranda was again.
Once again. What do you have?
I think.
License.
You want some?
I think.
Yeah. How much did you want? Help yourself. Shush. You ready? Hey, good morning. You want to do the arraignment first or which one? Okay. Come up, man, please. So she has a co-defendant. Do you guys represent the co-defendant? Do you know? No?
I believe the defendant also has a felony because he had prior thefts on it,
Really?
but she is a first-time offender. And her, yeah. And her involvement in it is not as much as the co-defendant's.
Ms. Ayala, you're charged with, you speak English, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Ayala, you're charged with theft. Shh. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On March 9th, 2025, at approximately 5:43 p.m., an officer was dispatched to a Best Buy in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in regards to a theft. The call notes advised that the suspects had left the location in a red Dodge Challenger with a temporary tag that started with 74. The officer located a vehicle consistent with the description about 0.8 miles from the business. The officer was also given a description of the suspects. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer immediately recognized Defendant Sauceda from previous thefts from Best Buy. Defendant Sauceda stated he took 2 items from the Best Buy without paying. The passenger, who is identified by her Texas driver's license as Defendant Ayala, and Defendant Sauceda entered the store and went to a cell phone station. Defendant Ayala distracted the cell phone employee while Defendant Sauceda used a pair of scissors to remove 2 cell phones and exit the store. Shortly after, Defendant Ayala received a text message from Defendant Sauceda, and she immediately left the store without purchasing any items. The total value was $1,499.99, and the 2 items were located inside the vehicle.
Ms. Ayala, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with the co-defendant in this case. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I'm also ordering you and barring you from going to any Best Buy in anywhere. Do you understand? If I find that you pick up a new case, if I find that you violate these conditions, that's it.
Yes, sir.
So do you mind filing those conditions, no contact with the co-defendant, no going to any Best Buy, anywhere? And then now you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yes,
For
sir.
now, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box. So we'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go. Okay, thanks.
Judge, I have 2 bond violations. The first one is Torres Noe. His bond violation is for failing to show up to a random UA. I tried reaching out to him, Judge. Apparently, he got deported. So that kind of explains why he's.
Sure about that? How do you know?
That's what the family told my office.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna end up revoking it then, because I can't just leave it open. I'll leave it at 2501.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
And then you reinstated once and stuff, if he's that.
I mean, let's see, like, more than likely, like, if it's not his fault, they just up and took him, then, you know,
Yeah, his family says he was detained by ICE and deported.
just I would reach out to the family, let them know, hey, if you're gonna get him back, do it the right way. You know, like, get permission first, and then if I see that they do that, then of course, absolutely, I would reinstate it, so, who's second?
And then Judge, the second one is gonna be Lambert, John.
With an L.
Yes, Judge.
Come up, Ms. Lemberg.
And Judge, I spoke with Mr. Lambert. He had a BAC of 0.03 on his interlock. I spoke with him about the incident. We talked about, let's just be honest about this and let you address it. We are asking for an admonishment because it is his first bond violation. He said he went out with friends on Friday, had some to drink. He didn't drive that night, but the following day, he didn't know that he was gonna be positive when he tried starting the car, and of course, the ignition interlock picked on it. I did admonish him that, your bond conditions are no drugs, no alcohol whatsoever. It's not only when you're driving, but throughout the pendency of the case. He understands that now. He is just asking if you would give him an opportunity, Judge.
You had a DWI 2 years ago. Now you've got another one. We tell you not to consume alcohol, yet it's happening anyways. So either you don't care about court orders or you have a problem.
Yes, Judge.
Have you seen how many people we put in custody?
Yes.
I'm now going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming at all. I'm going to put a scram monitor that detects alcohol through your perspiration 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't give a rat's behind what your next excuse is. If I find that you ever test positive for anything else again, I will lock you up. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your other ankle, I'm now going to put a GPS monitor and I'm going to give you a curfew of 9 PM to 6 AM. If I find that you're out because I don't want you out in the middle of the night, likewise, you will go into custody. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
It is absolute no tolerance here for it. I don't care what your excuse is from now on. No means no. Do you understand?
So,
Okay,
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
hi, Your Honor.
I'm sorry that you have such a high maintenance,
It's all right. Good for the views on this, right?
you know, he's not here.
No, you're right. I let him know and I texted him again. Are you coming? No, let me double check. Yeah, as of 11:18.
Do you want to stay on or do you want to withdraw?
I gotta give him more notice, before I withdraw, Your Honor. So unfortunately, I know you gotta do what you gotta do, but I'll send him a, email.
If you want to withdraw,
Yeah,
I don't know how much you've put into it. So.
I know. I'll probably approach next week on that, Your Honor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I know. I want to make sure I, got my bases covered on that. I don't want any angry family members coming after me for nonsense reasons. So,
Okay.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that case is on the trial line.
I know.
Yeah, so.
It's in warrant, it's going to be in warrant status now, so don't prepare for trial. Either of you.
Oh, I got paid now. All right, thank you.
So I'm saying, if you want,
How much?
15,004.
Hey, Judge, good morning. We're approaching on Mr. Orlando Flores, but I think you need an interpreter. He's gonna be waving. Do you need an interpreter or just get on the sign?
You want in? Okay, I think we're good. Just sign, yeah.
Okay, you need a, okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Judge, this is Mr. Flores for that time served plea.
Mr. Flores, I really don't know what it's going to take to get your attention that we're not going to stand for anyone endangering our public. Really. I mean, you've had in the last 3 years, 3 very serious cases, and now you're picking up a DWI. All of them are dangerous cases. What's it going to take? A 25-year sentence? Is that what it's going to take to get you to realize? All the stuff here is things that if you just think, they don't have to happen. All the time, all the money, all the just that you spend coming here can all be avoided by not using. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. From now on, what we're doing today, you're now facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand? There are more proverbial slaps on the wrist. What you're pleading to now is a DWI. This DWI will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty to this case, like I said, it'll go on your record. You can never take it off. Do you understand? The other thing is this, is that your lawyer is asking to waive all the fines and fees. If you ever pick up another DWI, it is a $6,000 surcharge that you will be required to pay. And if you don't pay it, you sit 1 day for every $100 you owe. If you want to get lit, 52 beers, 32 shots of tequila, take a freaking Uber. $40 wherever you want to go in this damn city. Don't kill anyone. How do you plead to the DWI? Guilty or not guilty?
Good.
I'm gonna find you guilty and I'm gonna sentence you to 6 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 180 days. Don't get into a car. Driving on a suspended license case is just like a DWI. You pick one up, you're gonna be right back in here, and it's just not gonna go well for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Dicci,
Judge, may I fix?
please.
Hello, Judge, how are you?
Noon.
It's Bob. I have, Mr. Escamilla and, Ms. Victoria says we need to approach you on the reset because you sent him for a drug test, Judge.
Come up, Mr. Escamilla. Positive for what?
THC, Judge.
No more.
Yes,
You
Your
are
Honor.
not allowed to use. It is a condition of your bond. I will give you up to 50 days, and I'm going to test you again. If I find that you continue to use, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you.
Yes, sir.
You take off on me again, it's really not gonna go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I put a GPS monitor on him and I've given him a curfew because he's taken off on us many, many times. His case is 1,000 days old. So I'll give you a reset, but I think that we were waiting on, is discovery complete on the assault case?
It says the only outstanding thing is, photo from the complainant.
Okay, if you can please
Yes.
get that.
And Judge, just for the record, I was just appointed today. Okay,
No, I'll give you time.
thank you. Thank
Sure.
you.
I'm gonna test you like crazy.
Yes,
Just
sir.
get ready.
I'm working. Yes, sir.
It's on your ball.
Yes, sir. Understand.
It's your responsibility to stay in touch with her too. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, likewise.
Yes, sir.
Jail you will go.
Understand.
All right?
And,
Okay, Ms. Tucci.
Yes, Judge, we've had a long talk this morning,
Good.
and he was really good about communicating earlier.
and,
Okay.
for my
Yes.
curfew, I work a night shift. I work 5 PM to 5 AM, so.
Judge, can it change to allow him to work?
I want proof. Show me proof. I'm not gonna take your word for
All
it.
right, but she'll send it to me, and by Monday, I'll bring it in and we'll adjust. Does he need to be here if you're gonna adjust the curfew, or can I just come show you?
Bring me legitimate proof and we can
And then we'll
talk.
talk.
And then, but remember, the GPS monitor tells me exactly where you go
Yes, sir.
at all times. So if you deviate,
Just worry about it. Yes, sir.
all right, okay.
I'll get the proof, Judge. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have a seat real quick.
How much time on the reset?
Well, let's do a 30-day reset and then test 50. 50. Are you ready, Counts?
Morning, Judge.
Hey, who'd you get?
I had Docket case
What is it?
2553680. And he has a family function and wants permission to travel to Dallas for a week.
I have no problem. I don't think that we've put a travel restriction on him. Just let him know that I guess if we've ordered no alcohol, no dope, because I don't remember. Just, I don't care where he's going, what they're celebrating not to use. But there's no travel restriction on him. He can go. But just be careful. If there's a curfew,
All the restrictions are from the felony court.
It looks like this.
yeah, I mean, we have a failure to ID, so I can't imagine I put anything. I mean, maybe I do, but I don't know.
Judge, you ready for a couple more?
Let me just finish this on Kabir. Let's do this, though. I would like to handle Mr. Wolf's case now.
Okay.
Come up, Mr. Wolf. Guys. I have found that there's probable cause to go forward with your DWI second in here. You also have another DWI in another county. Stop.
Okay, that was driver without license.
Stop.
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to say anything. I will appoint your lawyer today. But it's unacceptable that you continue to pick up cases here, there, everywhere. Unacceptable. And I don't think that a PR bond is the right thing to do. I'm now going to revoke the PR bond and he goes with you. You're a danger to our community. That's unacceptable.
Just driver.
Stop. I will appoint your lawyer. I don't want you to say anything now. I would like, did you talk to a lawyer? Can you appoint him someone, please? You are not to drive at all. I don't care what you're going, what you need to do. Do not drive. The only thing I'm asking you to do is please don't kill someone on our roads. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. Every single day, we have an intox man, an assault that happens because of this. Stop. There is probable cause to go forward. We have trials to determine that, but I have found that there's sufficient to go forward. You've got multiple cases open in another county. Goes with you. I will appoint your lawyer. Tell your side to the lawyer, and then we can talk happy. You're saying it is an open DWI in Galveston.
Did speak to the clerk, they said it was an open DWI, yes. And I double checked, and I was gonna speak to the prosecutor because they were.
I get it. No, I get it. But if you've been able to verify with the clerk over there that he has an open DWI second there and now a DWI second over here, no, 20,000.
2501?
20,000. Hey, Ms. Tichy, ready?
Judge, may we approach on bail on Mr. Wolf?
Okay.
Your Honor, as you know, I mentioned information, so we did look it up on that case. Galveston, that it was active, but we just looked it up on their public records, and that DWI same cause number on the NCIC was dismissed.
But he still has open Galveston cases.
Still has open Galveston cases there for, I guess, a possession of marijuana and a driving without license. So those are the two, the DWI is not.
Do you want to bring him out? Mr. Wolf.
He's over an 8. And Judge, I did not talk to him all about the facts of his case, and normally I do before I approach. I just wanted to reapproach on the bond, so. I've already told him I'd make an appointment to talk to him.
Have you run his license?
I'll run it right now.
I mean, I
It's
got a
okay.
job, I take probation, I got ankle monitor or something, I got a job and all that, I wasn't thinking and I was trying.
I'm gonna help you, but let's try to get it, let's at least try to get it lower to get you out today.
I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my community.
Yes, sir.
At all costs. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. If you're a small farm animal, everything in my power to protect my community.
Yes, sir.
You have 2 open cases in Galveston, and now you've picked up a case here. Does he have a license?
It's not eligible.
You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive, Mr. Wolf. And I want you to understand and hear me crystal clear that if I find that you drive and I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every single time you drive. I don't care that you need groceries. I don't care that a kid has to go to the hospital. I don't care that there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kids. If you don't have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, then you're not to drive. You now stand charged with the DWI second in this court. I am now also placing an additional restriction on your license that you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have a guardian interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle and it doesn't have an interlock on it, because I send notice to DPS in Austin so that every police officer in this state knows you get pulled over, you don't have an interlock on that car, they will take you directly to jail. I'm going to honor your PR bond today, but I'm putting a whole host of restrictions on you. And if I find that you violate these restrictions, I will violate that bond. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and I'm telling you, I'm going to test you within the next couple weeks to see whether you were using. If 50 plus days have passed and you test positive for marijuana, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The only thing I care are my streets and that they're safe. And if you don't have a license and you ain't got insurance, then you're not going to drive. You will now get a portable device that you're going to take everywhere you go to prove to me that you're not using alcohol. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you for weed here momentarily. I'm honoring our bond. I'm letting you out. You hold the keys to this jail cell. You know what's expected of you. You pick up a fourth case. I'm going to go cuckoo for Cocoa on your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We have also given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you've gone AWOL, you've taken off, picked up a new case in another county or whatnot, that's it. Hey, what's going on?
From Mr. Leonard, he's not here. It's set for bond forfeiture. So the situation was, it was about him not getting an portable device. He does have the portable device. He got it from Smart Start like 2 days later. Well, it's not set for bond forfeiture. It's for
Failed
bond.
to get the portable device.
Sorry.
He failed to get it, right?
What?
Obtained it after the violation was filed, Judge.
Why is he not here?
We ordered him to get a portable device as well because the first bond violation was him failing to get the ignition interlock and originally ordered.
And if he didn't get the ignition interlock because he didn't have a car. This case is from like a few years ago, and there was an accident involved. He lost the car. It was like a 2B because he went to the hospital. You know, they drew blood, and that's, you know, they filed the charges. He didn't know that he had the case. Came in, they gave him an ignition interlock. He doesn't have a car.
How do I mean, you know, like.
Yeah.
It's not our first bond violation, right? I order you to come to court and you basically just, I'm not gonna come. I'm not gonna get the interlock because I don't want to get it. I don't have a car. I'm not gonna get the portable device on time because I just don't want to get it on time.
Your Honor,
I'm not gonna come to court because I just don't want to come to court.
No, it's not like that, Your Honor. As far as with not getting the portable device, initially he did get a portable device, but I guess it wasn't working correctly or something. So he had to get another portable device. If you could help me with that.
Mr. Leonard does what Mr. Leonard wants to do. He doesn't care about court orders, you know?
Your Honor, I did communicate with him. Something happened to where he couldn't get here on time this morning. And he's talking about, you know, he's on the bus, so it would take him like 2 hours to get here. And I'm like, well, that's not gonna fly with the court, because he's supposed to be here this morning. Can we roll him to the Monday on this issue, Your Honor?
How many times has he failed to appear?
I think this is the only time.
All right, I will give you the SFBF for Monday.
Okay, thank you.
If he fails to appear, I don't give a rat's. I don't
No
care.
arguments for me, Your Honor.
I feel like I got beat up today.
They ain't over.
No, it ain't. It is.
Bonus on Monday, please, Judge.
Sure.
I second that motion.
Okay, guys, we're done.